Well, hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me. I'm Jill Bloom, Group Publisher of Roofing Contractor, and welcome to our Best of Success podcast show. I'm honored to have with me today Brian Palish, who is the CEO of IIBEC. Brian, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks. It's great to be here.
Well, I'm really excited to talk to you today, Brian, and thank you for joining me because there's some really great things happening at the convention this year that I want to make sure we have a chance to tell everybody about because it's coming up here soon. But Brian, let's start off by just tell me what's happening with IBEC. What's new? What should everybody expect to see at the show this year?
Well, I mean, I think we're excited for this show for a number of reasons. One, we are as part of our awards program, we rebranded and recreated some awards within IBEC, and one of the new things we're doing is what we're calling the Excellence in Building Enclosure Awards. And EBEC, it rolls off the tongue, and those awards are really focused on elevating and highlighting the value that building enclosure consultants bring to a project. These awards are going to recognize the contributions of those building enclosure professionals, their collaborators, and their clients. And this year, we're going to award 5 of those awards. They're awarded in the category of building enclosure, roofing, waterproofing, exterior walls. I think I got them all. And it's a difference from what we had done in the past. For many years, we had something called a document competition, but this is really looking at the project more broadly and the way we're going to present it. I think people will be excited, and it really celebrates the work that our members do in this process of creating or restoring building enclosures, which we're pretty thrilled about. We're also going to, for the first time, with a little focus on our emerging professionals, hold an emerging professionals networking reception. That's going to be on Sunday night, and really, they're the future of our profession and our industry, and we want to bring them all together and let them socialize and learn a little bit more about IBEC, but really just meet each other and engage with each other at the IBEC meeting. We've done something a little different with our education. We still have 3 tracks, and I think we span 24 different sessions or something like that with those tracks, right around that number. But we also are going to do 3 general sessions, which are sort of technical. One of them's not technical, but technical sessions that are available to everybody. That's the only session that'll be in that time slot, and there may be a little bit higher elevated session. So one of them is going to be about resilience, and a focus on that with a former FEMA administrator. One of them is going to be on the ASCE 722 tornado load provisions. That's a mouthful, but very important. Very important if you're designing a structure that has the potential for tornadic wind damage. And this is new in ASCE 722. There's never been a focus on trying to design structures for tornadoes because obviously that's pretty significant wind. So Mark Levitan, who's the lead research engineer at the National Windstorm Impact Reduction Program, which is a mouthful, at the National Institutes of Standard and Technology in Washington, D.C., is going to join us to talk about that. And then the last one is, I think it'll be interesting for the group. We have 3 CEOs coming together from the industry to talk about the outlook for the building enclosure profession in the industry. We have Homa Gahamy, who's the CEO of Klein and Hoffman, which is a design firm in Chicago, Illinois. They've got offices in multiple places, but she's in Chicago. Kristen Beck, who's the president of Wholesome Building Envelope, and she's newish in that position. I don't want to say new, but newish in that position. And then we have Ted Sheridan, who's with Fishburne and Sheridan, who's the consulting firm there in Ottawa, in Canada. And so just talking about what's going on, and that session is going to be moderated by Scott Hinesley, who's the president of REI Engineers in Charlotte, North Carolina, and they've got offices up and down the Eastern Seaboard. So I think that's going to be an interesting discussion. Just where are we going as an industry and a profession? What does the future look like? And then, we've got our normal stuff that we're doing. We have an auxiliary seminar, which actually is going to be pretty cool. It's on re-roofing. So folks remember that we don't forget roofing in IBEC. And I do think the other thing I would say about the sessions and those 21 to 24 concurrent sessions is we have sessions on all the disciplines, or if you will, all the categories of what our folks do. So we've got a good balance of exterior walls, uh, waterproofing, roofing, building commissioning. And so we're excited about that. And when we talk about commissioning, I always like to stop and take 1 minute to talk about our newest credential that we have, which is the CBECXP, which is sometimes a lot to roll off the tongue, but it's a credential that's in the process of becoming ANSI accredited, which will be our first ANSI accredited credential. And it is for people who commission the exterior, the envelope or the enclosure of a building. We've now got 25 of those folks who've gotten that designation, which is pretty exciting, and that started very quickly. And so we are excited about that. We will celebrate all of our new credential holders at this meeting, at our awards luncheon, and those 25 people as well. So that's sort of the new and fun stuff, if you will, that's happening at the event. And it's, the trade show's a little bigger than last year, which is
Yes,
exciting.
it
We've got
is.
some new exhibitors, so we're pretty thrilled about that. And I mean, we're thrilled. We think this is going to be a big meeting, and lots of folks are going to come to Phoenix and enjoy themselves and learn lots about building enclosures.
Oh, absolutely. Wow, Brian, that is amazing. It sounds, I can't wait. You even have me that much more excited now to get there, because there's between the education and the speakers and just the people, the quality of the people that are going to be there. Wow, that's going to be captivating. So congratulations on putting together such an exciting educational
Well,
program for everybody.
I would say we got a great team. We've got great volunteers that help us figure out what are the right papers and things to do, and we've got a
Yeah.
great staff team that's doing most of the work. I'm just the person that gets to talk about it. So it's
Yay,
I'm
all
pleased with
good.
I'm pleased with the hard work that everyone's doing.
Well, we're excited to lift them up as well, for sure. I know how hard they work because we work with them as well. One more person I want to ask you about, Brian, is you've got a special keynote speaker this year, Nikki Greenberg. Can you tell everybody, who is she and how did you decide to bring her on this year?
So she's got an interesting background. She's been involved in the real estate industry for quite a while, and as working with developers, and I don't know her entire story about that, but she's been involved in the real estate industry. But she also comes at this from the basis of being a trained architect. But her sort of discussion that she's going to have with us is a little bit about the future of all of this, right? And how artificial intelligence, how we're going to work differently with teams. And I think we liked her because she's really got that. Not only does she have, I think it's always interesting to have a futurist come and talk about the future and what we may see, but also someone who can talk about sort of the changing workforce, the changing how we're changing with the way we work with people, whether it's in the office, out of the office, all of that stuff. But I think the benefit we're going to derive from her is not only is she have that futurist mindset, but she also has the technical background that she can actually, if you will, talk to our members, right?
Yeah.
She's one of them, even if she's not doing design work right now. And I think that will be beneficial. And she certainly understands building enclosures, having been involved in real estate. And so I think that's sort of the mix that made her interesting to us, and I think our folks are going to gain a lot from it. It'll be a great way to kick off the meeting as we ramp up and go right into all the education and trade show stuff. So we're really looking forward to her.
Yeah. Well, she sounds really dynamic and we're all excited to hear about it. So thanks for the insight. Well, Brian, I can't tell you how much appreciate you taking the time to tell everybody why they should be attending IBEC. If anybody has any questions, where do they go? What's the website?
So it's a pretty easy one. It's IBEC Convention, all strung together.org. And if that's too hard to remember, just go to IIBEC.org, IIBEC.org. The entire schedule's there with all the education sessions, the networking events, Our trade show opens on Saturday. If you're just in the Phoenix area and want to visit the trade show, that's fine too. We have your booth there. I should say you guys will be there. I think you're booth 57, or I don't know what booth you are.
I
Yeah,
have to look too.
but you'll be there. You'll be
Yeah,
there. So we'll
you
we'll
will.
make sure that we all come visit you. If you want to learn more about IIBEC, we're going to be sort of in the middle at booth 517. So folks can come visit us there. We really we're excited for Phoenix and excited to see everybody back at an IIBEC meeting. So
I love it. And just so everyone has the exact dates, tell us the dates.
the dates are March 8th through 11th.
Okay.
March 8th through 11th. So 8th is the beginning. It's the opening reception and that auxiliary seminar. And then it flows all the way through Monday afternoon, and we have the closing evening banquet on Monday night. So if you stick around all the way till Monday night, I would say it will be kind of fun. We have some fun entertainment. A gentleman, Don McMillan, who is a comedian and a what I would call, I'll be funny for him, a lapsed engineer or a recovering engineer. So he makes it's an interesting comedic routine, but it's fun. He does a lot of fun stuff with comedy, and he will definitely use the building enclosure and our members as part of his props, if you will, for his show. We've seen him do it before a couple of years ago, so it was he was worth having back. So
Oh, that sounds fabulous. Yes, that'll be fun as well for sure to close it out. Well, again, Brian, thank you so much for joining me. And if anybody has any questions for us, it's roofingcontractor.com, wconline.com, or buildingenclosureonline.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for all our free content, especially make sure you follow us on all our social media channels so you can stay up to date on all the great interviews we're doing, especially like we are today with Brian. But most importantly, stay safe and healthy. We can't wait to talk to you soon. But most importantly, we can't wait to see you at IIBEC in Phoenix. Thanks again, Brian. Really appreciate you joining me.
thank you all. See you in Phoenix.